Hello and welcome to part 42. Let me start by saying that I'm not an expert when it comes to the United Nations. I'm very much an outsider. I don't know all the wheretofores about it. Could probably use more information on it. Not that I'd have anything more to say. I just thought I'd pose some thoughts as to the UN and how it could be possibly restructured. That's not to say it's a worse entity with these restructurings, but yet a better one, a more fair, a more democratic institution. So I'd like to start to talk about the United Nations and how I see it could be redone, so to speak. Again, I defer to the three-branch system being ideal. I know it's of my country in the United States of America, and I do believe in it. I do believe divinity had a hand in it, and it is quite perfect. These three branches are necessary. And then they can check and balance one another, and I can get into that in a minute. The legislative branch, i.e. the General Assembly, or perhaps the Security Council as well, dignitaries, diplomats, and or ambassadors would make up the legislative branch. They would possibly be informed and make decisions as Congress often does. Um, the House of Representatives and the Senate come to mind in the Congress of the United States Constitution. Okay, moving on to the judicial branch. In international courts, I say plural. It's been said that it's just a court, but I think it should be plural, maybe around the globe. Have international courts of justice, and that's not to say that the UN can't branch out, not just embassies, but maybe other places they can be located besides just New York. Of course, there are embassies and whatnot. Maybe they could be, where they adjourn is important, but it could be in more than one place or something like that. Okay, let's see, or where they, yeah, exactly, I may have got that wrong, adjourn, where they meet, to be more specific. Okay, judicial branch, international courts of justice, passing decisions on matters of state, regarding one state, possibly, just regarding that one state, if there's a civil war or something like that, have a decision on that, or between or amongst states, if there's a dispute or something not right, amiss, they could have a ruling on that. A ruling or a decision or a set of precedents for something regarding matters of the world, whatever it may be. And lastly, the executive branch, that which takes action. And I can explain some of the ways it can take action. The Security Council is one, possibly making decisions, taking action. Nation building, building infrastructure, or working on infrastructures. That can be one and the same as nation building, but I see a difference there. Humanitarian aid, enforce/keep the peace. Enforce may be a strong word. It's not usually the way of the UN to enforce, but in certain instances it may be necessary for the good of saving lives and keeping people in check, so to speak. So I suggest it may even, the executive branch may even need a militia. I put a question mark here. I don't know if that's really the best alternative, but possibly some branch, maybe even outside of the UN, but answers to the UN, or again, the executive branch. Let me get to checks and balances. And key would be as peaceful as possible, a militia, or to enforce peace, keep the peace. Last resort, so to speak, as far as using any kind of force. Okay, and checks and balances. These branches can check one another by voting on key issues or any issues. So they could possibly, I mean, we have ratified by 2/3 vote in the House and the Senate. What should it be in the UN? I don't fully know. I saw something that seemed amiss when there was an important decision to be made by the Security Council, and one member stymied everything, that everyone was agreed, and then it changed a little bit, and then there was two actually that had gone against what the others had decided upon, and one abstained, and I just thought there may be a problem there. Maybe you need 4/5 vote, or 2/3 ratification of the decision made, upheld by the majority, a strong majority, of course, is a thought. And then this can also be checked by other branches of the UN. So that's about all I have in that regard. I don't pretend to be an expert on the UN. I still have much to learn about it if I'm going to. I'm very much an outsider. I've never been affiliated with the UN. I've never been part of it. I've never seen the workings of it, except for maybe what's on television or something. So these are my thoughts. Maybe take heed. Take a listen to what I've just said. Maybe listen to it again. And please give it serious thought. Some restructuring is needed, amendments needed for the UN, whatever they may be. And I also left out something with the executive branch. Besides that which takes action, also that which guides the UN, like the President guides. Secretary General may be part of the executive branch, but yet in check by other branches of this government. So not to have too much power, like unyielding power or something like that. They can be checked by the other branches, is a thought. Okay, so maybe mull this over, and you can do better than I did. Find better solutions and more detailed ones, possibly. Thank you for your time, and goodbye.